great distinction. He played the role with great dignity and style, inimitable style, for 15 years, one of our longest serving ambassadors. As ambassador, he always defended Singapore's interests and over the years furthered the cause of Singapore. He kept our flag flying high. It was known that he would wear an orchid at every official function, and he became widely known as the ambassador with an orchid. He had a larger-than-life personality, and his zest for life distinguished him as a remarkable diplomat. I leave you with a quote from Mr. Harry Loyes, Mr. Marshall's longtime friend. As a man, a giant, robust in his love for life, compassionate as a champion for the underdog. As a lawyer, a beacon. Everybody wanted to be David Marshall. He was the last of a kind. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our privilege to be able to celebrate the publication of a book on this great Singaporean, lawyer, politician, humanist, and patriot. The book puts on record the achievements of a remarkable man who is now an indelible part of the history of Singapore. And I would like to commend and thank Dr. Kevin Tan, whose work made this book possible, and thank the National Library Board and the Institute of Southeast Asian Studies and the other partners for putting up this exhibition and making the book possible as well. Thank you.
And may I invite Mr. Kesavapani to launch the book. Would you both please unveil the book?
Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. It's now my pleasure to invite Ambassador Kesavapani to present Minister with a copy of the book as a token of appreciation. Thank you, Minister. And now may I invite Ambassador Kesavapani to please deliver his closing remarks.
Our guest of honor, Mr. K. Shanmugam, Minister of Law and Second Minister of Home Affairs, Chief Justice Tan Sek Keong and Mrs. Chan, Dr. Wang Gangwo, Chairman, ISIS, Mrs. Hong, Mrs. Jean Marshall, Dr. Kevin Tan and Dr. Jonathan Marshall, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and our charming MC, Dr. Sharon Siddiqui. Since Dr. Kevin Tan has so eloquently described why he wrote the book, allow me to say why ISIS decided to publish this book under our series of first generation leaders. As you know, for some time we have been working on bringing out a book on the first generation leaders, and this is the first of its titles. 5 points in Tomiko's tradition of speaking by points. First, the late Mr. David Marshall was the second chairman of ISIS from May 1969 to November 1974. That's when Sharon knew him. That's why we specially chose Sharon to be the MC for this event. Although the Institute was a government-established body, still is, Mr. Marshall did not hesitate to offer his services. He knew the initiative was good both for Singapore and the region. This substantiates the point that the minister made when he was offered the ambassadorship. He also made the same argument, I'm doing it for Singapore and not for anything else. Second, the Institute was given the honor of housing the David Marshall collection. It is in our library. We therefore felt that we had a proprietary duty to ensure that the contents of the papers in the collection were made known to the public, in this case in the form of the book that Kevin has published. Third, Mr. Marshall was a man of many parts, an outstanding lawyer, politician, diplomat, humanist, a leader of the Jewish community, and above all, a patriot. These facets of his life and achievements have been recorded by various writers in various publications at various stages of his life. What we felt was needed was a comprehensive account of this man and what he stood for, and that is what is in the book. Fourth, in Dr. Kevin Tan, I found the wordsmith who would do justice to the task. You don't just get anybody to write the book, you look for the right person. And right from day one, on our conversation about the project, I knew Kevin would put his heart and soul into the realization. Thank you, Kevin. Fifth, and most important, there is a Marshall in every one of us. Many other times we would have liked to have spoken about this or that aspect of public policy or actions which we perceive to be wrong or misguided. But many other times when we bit our tongue and remain silent, except for one person in my household, that's my wife. She just shoots off letters to the kids. How we wish we had been as outspoken as the man portrayed in this book. The enduring question is, would Singapore's destiny have been otherwise? The final justification for the publication of the book was the opportunity to work once again with the National Library Board. This is our third attempt, really. The second was on the Conference on Early Indian Civilizations. When we heard about our separate endeavors, we decided to join forces and bring about a book, the launching of which coincides with this exhibition. Let me now end by thanking Minister Shanmugam for gracing the occasion, launching the book, and shortly opening the exhibition. To the Chief Justice, our thanks for writing the excellent foreword, which alone adds luster to the book. To Mrs. Jean Marshall, Dr. Jonathan Marshall, and the family for the support they have given us. To the Jewish community, in particular, Joe, my good friend, for your good wishes and material support. To Dr. Paraprasad, Chief Executive, National Library Board, and his team for playing host to this function, and for mounting the exhibition. To my colleague, Trina Ong, Head of Publications, and her staff, for bringing out the book in a record time of 4 months. If you later see how thick the book is, you will wonder how it was possible to be done. But we wanted to coincide today, the 12th, which is the anniversary. To my colleague, Ms. Kim See, Head ISIS Library, and her staff, for a year-long research and organizational support for the book and the exhibition. And to Dr. Sharon Siddiqui, the MC, who had worked with Mr. Marshall during his time at ISIS. I would like to offer a special debt of gratitude to Dr. Kevin Tan for helping me realize my personal dream of bringing out a book on one of my heroes, David Saul Marshall. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambassador Kesavan. May I now invite our guest of honor, Minister Shanmugam, to lead a tour of the exhibition, The Extraordinary Life and Times of David Saul Marshall. And could you all please remain sitting and standing until he exits into the tour. This will be followed by a reception. And I'm pleased to announce that at the reception, author Kevin Tan will be available to sign all the copies that you can purchase. And thank you all very much for your kind attention.